Wow, the Cader Idris hike never gets any easier. It's a hard slog up through the forest, but I'm hoping we're going to get some snow up on the top. It was pouring all night, and there is snow on some of the other mountains around us, so fingers crossed we get some snow-capped peaks. For those of you who haven't heard of Cader Idris, it's one of the mountains in the southern end of the Snowdonia National Park, and it's a fantastic peak to hike. I've missed all of the snow that we've had so far in the UK, but I'm just hoping we can get a little bit here today, but only time will tell. Looks like it's going to be a good day. That sunlight's already poking through, and there is a little bit of snow up on the tops. So it's looking fantastic, but still a way to go yet. Now the question is the peak free from cloud? I think it might be for now, but this is the kind of place that will hover over in cloud in an instant. Definitely need to get to the gym more. Spoke too soon. The summit is actually in the clouds. Now, one great thing that photography brings to hiking is that it's an excuse to stop and take pictures. So if you're with a group and you're knackered, but you don't want to tell everyone, just start taking pictures, you get your breath back, and then you can carry on. And everyone will think that you're a lot fitter than you are. Now, this is a really good sign. If there's snow this low down, there's definitely going to be more up at the top. And I know this isn't proper snow, it's a bit of a dusting, it's your typical British snow. It's so hard to get photos when the sun's coming in and out. So it's really important to have your camera ready. And that's why one of these clips is really good. I can have my camera there. As soon as that sun comes out, I'll take a shot. So make sure you have your camera ready to go when you do have these bits of light coming and going really quickly. So I've got a load of snow and this is absolutely fantastic. I was saying to my wife the other day that we're so unlucky not to get any snowy scenes. So I'm so happy I made it up today. Now I've noticed with my photography recently that I've been doing this one thing more and more, and it's really started to make my photos stand out. And it kind of goes against most of the compositional tips and techniques. I have done it already in some of the photos that I've taken, but I just need to find another example to show you exactly what I mean. Now you hear people talk about the rule of thirds, leading lines, front, middle and back compositions, and I've even got a video on compositional techniques. However, this one technique really does go against all of those rules. Now this is fantastic, and this makes that long hike all worthwhile. Getting scenes like this is what I come out here for. The sun is poking out every now and then, even though we've got the dark clouds over the mountains. Now, if any of you have watched my channel for a while, you know I love a good pano stitch. It's exactly what I'm going to do here. It is a little bit dark, but I'm going to shoot one anyway. And when that sun comes back out, I'll probably do another one. Again, with those pano stitches, just make sure you've got enough of an overlap and the computer will stitch them together. Any gaps and it's ruined. Oh, wow. We've got sunbeams. Now, this is absolutely fantastic. We've got sunbeams coming through, we've got showers coming through. I'll be surprised if I don't get absolutely soaking wet going up here, or at least snowed on, but it's well worth it for this view. Here comes the snow. Now, this compositional technique I was talking about earlier is basically breaking the rule of thirds. It's not using leading lines. It's not using that front, middle, back compositional technique. It's literally whacking something bang in the middle of the shot. It could be right in the middle, it could be at the bottom in the middle, it could be at the top in the middle. But it's basically having something in your frame that really draws the eye to it. I love doing this technique, and I'm doing it more and more, especially with a telephoto lens. I've got up to 200mm on my camera, and it's perfect for this. Whether it's hikers at the top of the mountain, whether it's a bit of prominent land sticking out into a lake, or whether it's a building in the shot. Get it dead center, or get it at the bottom of the top of the frame, still dead center, and you'll be surprised how good the image will start looking. Now, this scene is just fantastic. Those light beams are coming through directly into this valley. And this is exactly what I was talking about. If I just drop the exposure down, you can see that there. Looks really cool. Now, this road up the valley, I'm going to put dead center in the frame. Now, it is a little bit of a leading line, but having that going up the middle of the frame kind of breaks that rule of thirds, breaks some other rules in composition as well. But I love these shots. And whenever I see the opportunity, I grab it. These light beams were so prominent that they needed minimal editing. With the zoom, I got closer to the trees in the valley floor, but I'd like to have got closer to these trees to single out that one in the middle of the frame. As these light beams are so good, I couldn't resist getting more shots of them. This is one of my favourites, as the dip in the snow-covered foreground almost mimics the clouds in the sky, framing the valley and those light beams. So it's getting really blowy, and it's getting really slippery as well, which is unfortunate. I don't have my crampons with me, so I don't think it's really advisable to go to the top. Wow. That is properly blowing. Yeah, I'm not proud. I know when I'm not prepared enough for the conditions, and I know the conditions are changing, and it does seem like that cloud's closing in quite a bit. I've got a couple that I like already, and I'm just going to see what else I can get. So it did get pretty bad, and the wind did try to blow me off the mountain. So turning back was a good idea. But I did get a few more shots on the way down using this central compositional technique. In this shot, that little tree at the bottom draws your eye down before your eye explores the rest of the frame. Now, sometimes it can be less obvious, like this one. So if you are struggling to get a shot with a telephoto lens, look for something to anchor the shot and try it dead center, bottom center, or top center of the frame. And let me know in the comments below how you get on when doing this with your photographs.